Hey boxing fans, this is the one I'm looking forward to. We're going to talk about Miguel Cotto versus Antonio Margarito, the rematch. Just looking through their attributes, you can see that Miguel Cotto is the smaller of the two boxers in question. He, in fact, is a former lightweight, come up to light welterweight, and even at light welterweight he was in trouble getting blocked, getting dropped and hurt. Welterweight he was also getting hurt. In fact, he lost a few times at welterweight, of course once to Antonio Margarito, and now he's moved up again to super welterweight or light middleweight, whatever you want to call it, and he's fighting a guy who is probably a more natural light middleweight when compared to Miguel Cotto. The proof is in the pudding. So we've got Margarito, who is 4 inches taller than Cotto, and he also has a 6-inch reach advantage. There's also no doubt that the better boxer is Miguel Cotto, but the better puncher is Antonio Margarito. So it is really skill versus brute power. Just starting with Miguel Cotto. Firstly, I think he needs to take it to a points decision. His best chance is taking it to the points decision, because let's be honest, Antonio Margarito is pretty much disliked throughout the boxing community right now, and a lot of people would like to see him lose and retire. And I think that people will, even if Miguel Cotto loses a few rounds, they'll still give them to Miguel Cotto over Antonio Margarito because they don't like him. It's just how it is. Another thing that Cotto could do is he has to target the eye of Margarito. Margarito's been covering up his eye lots recently because, well, it got really damaged in the Manny Pacquiao fight. The referee probably should have stopped it in hindsight, but he didn't. And right now his eye seems to bruise up really early. He's got to keep going for that eye, and maybe the referee will stop the fight. You never know. Going back now to Margarito, people are saying that he probably wouldn't have won the fight because he was probably using hand wraps, illegal hand wraps, but I don't share this opinion. I don't think he was. What happened was, at the end of the fight, everyone saw him in the post-fight interview running around to all the Mexican legends, hugging the Mexican legends, and he didn't do this by shadily taking off his gloves or keeping his gloves on and then cutting through the hand wraps, smashing the hand wraps on the rope or something. I don't know. He didn't do that because he didn't have to. He was still had his hand wraps on. They were in the full camera view while he was hugging people and like shaking hands and shit. Point being, he was clean in that fight. You've got to say he was clean in that fight because they were on view. People would have went, "What's that on your hand?" I do it all the time when I'm walking down. "What's that on your hand? Is that a glove? You weirdo." Something like that. People would have picked up on it and asked him what it was if he was dirty, but he wasn't. Just like Shane Mosley, people say Shane Mosley could have been using EPO for ages and the clear for ages. Who knows? He might have, but we've got no evidence. You can't say it if you can't prove it. So how can Margarito win this fight? He's got to do the exact same thing that he did last time. He's got to cut down the ring really quickly. He's got to work that body. He's got to get Cotto to bring his arms down. Once he brings his arm down, you can fire away at the head. Or sometimes you might even after you might be able to take him out by just attacking the body. Cotto does well when he can box and maybe sometimes bully his opponents. He never does well against bigger people. People who bully him have beaten him. For example, obviously, Antonio Margarito beat him by bullying him. Literally bullied him. There's a point where Cotto was running backwards because he was like tired, hurt. He had his arms down, and you just saw Antonio Margarito running after him across the ring with his arms down, ready to fire. And that was like one of the most important points of that match. It was like that was when you knew this is over. And he's got to have him in that time again. He's got to take him back to hell. He's got to be right on top of him. And he's basically got to really bully him. He's got to bully him, and he's got to take him to a place he's not been for a while. I mean, the other person who beat him was Manny Pacquiao, and he out-bullied him. Cotto went from trying to win the fight by literally attrition and going out to knock him out, so he had to just say, "You know what, I'm not going to knock this guy out. I'm going to have to box him." Then he tried to box him, and for a period of time it was working until the referee stopped it at the end because he was taking punishment again. Every time he gets in a proper fight with someone who's not scared of him, isn't afraid of his power, let's say, then he's in trouble every time. Even Ricky Hatton said, "Put me in a match with Miguel Cotto and I would break his spirit." And who knows if he would. The point being, it's happened before, so it could happen again. Official prediction for this match is I think it's going to be Miguel Cotto wins by unanimous decision. Unfortunately, I think that because no one likes Antonio Margarito anymore, they're just going to give a decision to Cotto. Even if he doesn't deserve it, he'll get the decision because they want Margarito to go away. They don't like him here. He's the villain. He's the bad man. And yeah, he is a bad guy because he tried to use illegal hand wraps. He didn't do it, but he tried to. That's the difference between like people like him and Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley, we know, took steroids, but him, he didn't actually get in the ring and use them. He tried to use them, but got caught. Don't get this twisted, by the way. I'm not saying Margarito cannot win. He can win. That knockout could come at any time because he's just so... He's going to keep on coming at Cotto. Cotto's not going to know what to do. He's going to be running around again. And how is he going to react with all this extra weight he's put on over the last year or two since the last fight? He's put on more weight to go up in a division, another 7 pounds or so. So he's going to have to... Basically, he's going to have better stamina because he'll have to be carrying more bulk around. Has he got it? I don't know. So it could come for Antonio Margarito at any time. If he keeps coming at him, he's going to put him into a place he doesn't want to be. It's very possible that Antonio Margarito would win. I would say right now it's a 60-40 split in favour of Miguel Cotto. But 40% is quite a good amount to bet on. That's what I think.